it's Rachel from All About Planners. In this video I'm doing a review of the Lucky Life Tools Life Planner. So, if you follow my blog and my YouTube, you know that I review tons of planners and I get really bored with the generic horizontal, vertical, you know, where they all like copy each other and it's really boring. So this one really caught my eye. Everything is different. The weekly spread layout, the monthly calendar, just everything is different, functional, lots of line writing space. So let's have a closer look. So the size, I would call it medium. It is about 7.5 inches wide by approximately 9 inches high, and it does have the usual wire binding with a hardcover. Not too fat, I'd say it's probably about 1.5 centimeters thick. It feels quite light, especially since it's a hardcover. It's actually really lightweight, so you could definitely take this with you, put it in your handbag. So inside it has a minimalist black and white theme throughout. As you can see, it's got lots of line writing space, very functional, and lots of goal planning sections. It even has this cute little index for you, all nicely mapped out, which I've not seen another planner do. I really like that idea. So you have the dates at a glance pages, also comes with some downloads, and then we go into the goal setting sections first. So like I said before, the layouts are not just generic boring stuff. They've got all extra things like some graphics, you know, like divider lines, all the boxes, just something different and a nice change from the usual boring stuff. Right, so we have the goals section first. So going to personal, social, and professional, you've got lots of space to write in, and you've also got the lines. And we go into this section here, which is probably one of my favorite pages of the whole thing. So I really like that you categorize it before you go ahead and do it, because if you've got lots of things happening all at once and then it's hard to decide what you should focus on. So this one, these 2 pages really help to map that out and help with your decision making, make you pick what you actually want to focus on the most rather than trying to do everything. Then you have some goal planning pages. I really, really like these pages. I really wish that more planners would include goal planning pages like this. So start with the vision, why, people, all the things that you need, obstacles, some like a graph sketching space, and this part here is my favorite. So you've got the steps, you can do what it is and then list out all your tasks, and the deadline section, which is very important because if I don't have a deadline, nothing gets done. So very functional, and you get quite a few of these as well. And there's also some one-page ones if you don't need quite so much planning space. So for e-courses, I would use these 2-page ones because I need a lot of space for that. And then for like a planner kit, printable set, I'd probably use this one. Then we go into you got a timeline as well, which I guess most people call it like an annual overview. Even got the little things to denote each quarter, which is a nice little extra touch. And then we go into the actual, I guess what you call like the weekly planning section. So you've got an annual overview. Now, the other thing that I really like about this planner is everything's consistent. Monday start for the annual, the weekly, and the monthly. Heck yeah, because most planners, for whatever reason, have a Sunday start monthly calendar and then a Monday on the weekly, and it just confuses me. So, like I said before, different functional pages with everything. So the monthly spread is not just a calendar. You've got a calendar and then also all of this goal mapping, list making sections over here, which ties into that initial goal section at the front of the planner. So top 3, which I always do, so love that. And then split it out by those sections which were in those earlier goal setting pages. Open-ended, pick whatever lists you want to keep track of. And then the timeline, so I really, really like this. So generally, if I have a goal, I map out, okay, in week 1 of the month, I'm going to do this. This one you can go even further. You can do it for each day as an overview, which I really like, so you're not overscheduling. And you can also include in things like birthdays and other stuff that's happening. Really like this, really functional. The monthly calendar is probably not as functional. It is lined, which is good, but because it's a 1-page calendar, the boxes for each day are really small, like width-wise. So they're only about, as you can see, they're not even 2 inches wide. If you're Aussie like me, that's about 2 and a bit centimeters. So very narrow. You're probably not going to fit much in them, so it's good that it has this to make up for that. If it had a 2-page monthly calendar, it would probably be perfect. It does have holidays printed, and it's a US planner, so it has the US holidays, and it has those moon cycles if you want to use them. I don't really look at them, but I know some people have commented on some of my videos saying that they find them helpful, so they're there if you want them. So the weekly spread. Right, so a lot going on. You've got the lined writing space, you've got this section up the top, which could be your project planning, meal planning, cleaning, priority, most important tasks, that stuff. Then you go into the schedule, which is from 6 AM until 11 PM. So this planner would have to be one that has the latest scheduling, so I usually go till midnight. So 11 PM is getting quite close, which is good, because normally they cut at like 8 PM, and I'm like, right, and then I just restart up the top because I've obviously run out of room. Then you have the focus section, so it all like ties together. You got the monthly focus, and then you go to the weekly spread, and you've got a focus section again. Lots of list making space over here, which is open-ended, so you can add whatever titles or categories you want, or you could do your project planning over here, and then just your daily life stuff, appointments, etc. in the actual columns. You've got trackers, including, they call it routines and behaviors, but I would just do habit tracking, or like those 2 or 3 time a week type tasks. Exercise, really like the target actual result. I've done that with a couple of habit trackers over the months, and I find that a lot better than just having, you know, the days of the week and then nothing else. Like, I like to have a total, see where weaknesses, improvements, all that kind of thing. Monday start, which is consistent with the monthly calendar, which is brilliant. And then you have down here the thing that ties in with your 3 areas. They do personal, social, and professional, but you might want to tweak that to like personal, project, you know, family, something like that. You could always tweak them. Then you've got that continued throughout. There are tabs to each month, as you can see. They're just thin cardstock, but they are laminated, which is something. There is no decorative monthly divider pages or anything like that. Just everything about this planner just screams functional. There's no wasted space on the page. Like, you know, it maximizes the space. It has this binding where you can fold it back on itself and write. It is quite close to the margin. If you are a lefty, you might have a bit of problem with that. If it was discbound, this planner would be like, oh my god, love it. I love discbound systems. Maybe they will do that in following years. Wish more planners did it in general. Right, so let me check for some split boxes. So if you watching my other reviews, you'll know that I'm always checking to see if they cut the box in half. The other thing that I've noticed is that this is a smaller size than the rest of the weeks in the monthly calendar, which is a bit odd. But anyway, that one it's fine. It's just when it has the 6-week thing happening. So I don't think it's going to split the boxes because it's got them shaded up the top here. So either way, you can always just white out and then restart the numbering up the top, which is what I generally do. The holidays are printed in this little top section, so at least it's not wasting any space, because if you have the number and then it's on the line below, you lose a lot of space, which not many planners seem to think is important, but it does really make a difference, especially if you've got a small box like this one does. Now at the back you have a section that's different to most planners. You have more goal section, review space. Let me just find it. Keep going. Probably needs a tab about here, not further along at the Life Tools section. Okay, so similar to the front section with the goals, you've got a quarterly check-in section, a life balance thing, which I think is a good idea because I tend to do a rating for each category, like out of 10. So this one is of a similar mindset and has that already built in for you. Lined writing space, which is always handy. And then you've got an annual review. So another type of pages that I don't think enough planners include, and it all ties back into those 3 categories from the start of the planner as well. And you've got some more detail, go down into more details. And then this section here I think is a good idea, this next steps thing. I don't normally include that, but I think I might because that's a really good idea. And then you've got the, I guess, starting to plan for 2019. Probably wouldn't bother with this page, I'd just go straight into the next year's planner, but it's there if you want it. And then you have this Life Tools section at the back. So this is where you've got all those other pages that most planners don't include. They're like a bonus pages, a self-inventory, which is quite interesting, like a self-assessment. You've probably seen these sorts of wheels before where you rate it. I think some people call them like a level 10 life, so you've got those. And then a decision maker, which is rather unusual. I'm not sure if I would use this or not. I might have to delve a bit deeper. I've not thought of using something like this before, but if it's there, I might give it a go. More pages. I probably wouldn't use this. A belief changer. I'm not sure about that. Habit tracking. Mood booster. Creativity. All this random stuff which most planners don't include to help you prioritize. I do quite like this with the line space and the simple lists. That's pretty good. That's like a bucket list. More list making. Ooh, open-ended. I love that. And then you can put your own lists in there. You use like a cleaning checklist, like lounge, kitchen, bathroom, categorized lists, quarterly, seasonal tasks. Really like that. And there's a few notes pages at the back with the pen test. So, let's see. The ballpoint pens, as with most planners, were fine. Gel pens, I think were fine as well. I'm not seeing much bleed through. Little bit of show through on the highlighters, but surprisingly the maybe stamps did not bleed through, and there's only very light ghosting. So this paper quality is one of the better that I've come across. It does feel quite like thicker than others, and it's really smooth and nice to write on. So on the whole, I'm pretty impressed with that paper quality. We've got some numbered pages at the back, which ties into that index contents thing that was at the front of the planner. You've got some graph paper to sketch. We'll do a habit tracker, mood tracker, all that kind of stuff. You're in pixels, or if you just prefer to write on graph paper. And then at the back, they've got this thing, which I probably wouldn't use, to be honest. It's there if you want it. And then you've just got the back cover, which is similar to the front with like the color and the Y binding. It does have this built-in ribbon bookmark as well. On the whole, a very functional planner. A nice change to most of the other planners that are around in terms of more functional pages, more goal setting. Kind of reminds me of the Law of Attraction planner, only I like this much better because it has the wire binding which lays flat, and the writing space is bigger. So in the Law of Attraction the lines are really close together, whereas this one you get a decent line spacing. Very functional. It's all lined writing space, minimalist, add lots of color, uses all the page, you don't have any wasted space. On the whole, I'm quite impressed with this planner, and I would definitely recommend it. So I hope you found this review helpful. Don't forget to subscribe. The button is below if you want to see more review videos. I usually post 1 or 2 each week.